start our conversation, I know you missed our last session, so I'd really love to just acknowledge a few things.
Okay.
Um, and one is just like you really had to make some arrangements to be able to attend almost every week. And that's not easy for anyone
It's the
to
same for
devote.
everyone, right? Always the same.
Exactly, exactly. It takes a lot of persistence and patience to see
Mhm.
results in a program like this. But I just really want to applaud your continuing to show up every week because that doesn't always happen. Like truly
Well,
being committed to it.
it was very apparent early on that it was important to truly trust the process and that I could feel why that was important. And it became important to me to try and make it happen. Not always easy, but
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, to
critical
truly
to
know if
do
it's
it.
going to work for you, right? Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, I sensed early on that it would. Um, the the difference between the those of us in the group was very obvious, but we're all there for the same reason, right? So
Mhm.
the dynamic of having individual personalities and how different I would say the three of us were only added to the result. I
Oh,
felt.
interesting. Yeah, yeah. To just to
Um,
see different perspectives, and is that what you
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Mm,
Um,
mhm.
and and all three of us coming from a very different place. But I thought it really worked personally. I thought it did.
Oh,
And
good, good.
I really got early on why you have the agreements that you have, you know,
Mm.
not to chime in, not to chirp in about someone else's experience, not to say, oh yes, me too, but to be quiet and let someone finish.
Mhm.
Um, and how that translates to respect for the other participants is really, really important, right? And quite
Yeah.
an important dynamic in what makes the program work, which was exactly the part that I was hesitant about. To me, ended up being the biggest bonus. Well, no, the biggest bonus is you, but beyond that, the ability to hold space for someone else and allow them the privacy to discuss what they need to discuss and not chirp in on them. Good.
Yeah. It's
Really
so,
interesting.
yeah, it is. It's interesting and it's an unusual environment. That's not how we typically communicate, right? We're
Right.
often thinking about what am I going to say next? Right?
And it
How
takes a
can
lot
I?
of courage for the individual to express something deeply personal in a group setting,
Mhm.
and have the respect of the others on the other end. Nice. It's really, really
Mhm.
good.
And it requires a really safe environment to do that. And so, yeah, we do, Heather, Heather's referring to some group agreements that we start out with in the beginning that we
Yeah.
all kind of agree on. And this is how we're going to communicate as best we can. None of us are perfect. So I appreciate that that was something you noticed. And yeah, Heather, you and I did some private coaching together, and then you came on into the
Yes.
group
Which I loved.
programs.
I wanted to do more of that, but I came to really like the group program as being very, very important.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I wanted to have a group program is I personally learned a lot from even just listening to other people. Truly, just actually seeing somebody else's perspective and realizing, oh, my perspective is not the only one. That's surprising.
Yes. Right.
So thank you for
Yeah,
sharing
sure.
that. The other thing
Okay.
I wanted to appreciate, well, I have a few things I want to appreciate about you and just our work together and what I've noticed. I actually write down like what are your goals at the beginning, and I remember yours where you want more optimism and you want more presence. Those were two things that you Those were
Yeah.
goals of yours. And
Huge.
then a few weeks ago, I remember you saying to me in the session, it was something along the lines of, I feel optimistic. Like this, the sleep issue is not an age and stage thing. It's actually
Yeah.
something that I have control over. So how are you feeling about your optimism since we started working together?
Oh, especially on the sleep aspect, which I somehow expect might be the most common thing that we all come to you struggling with. It's almost fixed for me, which is fixed is the wrong term. But when I wake up and it's more occasional, having an episode where I just know I can't get back to sleep, I can almost feel myself chuckle and say, it's okay, just trust it's going to be fine. And I'll purposely try and think of something else and something that's entirely different and just remind myself that if I trust the process, I can kind of calm myself down. And typically I'm back asleep in about 10 minutes, which is
It's
bizarre for me.
amazing. And if anyone's
Ah,
listening that has sleep issues, this is huge. And this is the exact noticing that I had when I recovered from
ah,
my insomnia, right? Like just the ability to, when I wake up, I don't go into the stress response straight away, like, oh my God, how am I going to function tomorrow? And, the whole spiral. But, oh, okay,
like
this is here and
catastrophizing.
it's
This
okay.
is it. It's come happening again. My whole day's wrecked. And now I kind of chuckle. And I
Mm.
think, this has been a years of an issue that would often keep me up all night, and I would be really grouchy and negative the next day. And now I just don't worry about it. Like I just trust that I'm awake for a reason. And if I just relax, sometimes I get up and go in the other room and let myself get chilly for a bit, but other times I don't even need to do that. And I just trust that it'll all be okay, and that lets me drift off again. Amazing.
Wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that, Heather.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a few other issues I
Um,
might need a bit more work on, but that one's huge.
it is huge. Our sleep affects so many other pieces of our life, of course, right? Just even our stress resilience. If we're not sleeping, we're going to be less able to deal with stressful situations.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The
It
other
it
thing, Mhm,
Go
mhm.
ahead, Sharon.
Oh, sorry. I was just another thing I wanted to mention was your attention. So when we first, I don't know if you've noticed a difference. But when we first started working together, your attention was like, I would say a couple minutes.
Yeah, okay, fair. Yeah.
Would you say that's fair? Like, not
Yes,
that, yeah, I
yeah.
mean, you would go, you'd come back to it,
Yeah.
the way we do, right? That it's
Yeah.
not a negative thing. But now I think you're like, how long, not that it's about the time that we're practicing, but how long generally are you able to practice now, would you say?
Uh,
Like
15
5 minutes at a
minutes,
time, 10? How many?
maybe 15,
15 minutes.
which for me is a lot. Like I've got a attention span of like 2 or 3 minutes for most of my life, I think. Or I just would know that I could boomerang back to something, and feeling the need and the desire to actually maintain focus and see through is a big change for me. And this issue's more been a bit more of a later in life thing for me. I think when I was young, I don't know what I was like when I was younger. Probably it's what helps you survive motherhood is being able to pivot. And you learn that trait then, but
Yeah.
then forget to undo it.
We get
Um,
pretty good at multitasking.
yes, yeah, and it's a skill that saves us. But now I really want to stay in the moment more. And I do feel I'm really making progress there, which I'm very grateful for. Yeah,
Yeah, I think you are too. I really notice it.
yeah, I
And
do.
I wrote down another quote that you had said, and this was quite some time ago, actually. But you said, you're noticing that there's an awareness below everything else that is happening in my mind and my body,
Mhm.
which is
Yeah.
like when you said that, I was like, that is a very perfect description of meditation, to see and observe what else is happening outside. Like what's happening in your mind and your body is separate. We don't have to get it as attached to it. And underneath it all is that awareness. And when you use those exact words, I was shocked. I was like, oh, you get what meditation is.
Well, you convey it very, very well, Sharon, that the flickering attention span is not necessarily something to be feared, that we can redirect ourselves back. And it takes practice, but when you sort of get that part, it's like, oh, this is all within my control. I don't have to assume it's over because I've drifted off. I can drift back in. And then I can hold it for a bit
Beautiful.
longer the next time. It's quite a neat trick, actually,
Yes.
when
It's
you
kind of
when
like
you
a
try it.
hack.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it really is.
I feel like we should start teaching the program together now, Heather.
Wow, yeah, not happening. No, I'm just at the brink of trying to really implement it, but very keen to carry on.
Great, great. Yeah. And I mean, thank you for the conversation. And if there's anything you want to add about, I don't know, what else was most valuable for you in the program, or if you have any advice for someone that's considering engaging in some support.
I think my advice would be to definitely give it a try, even if we were to only come away with one or two concepts that we could work on, the dialogue can still play in the back of our minds of what we've heard. Um, and I know I will continue to benefit from the pieces that bubble up when there's room for them, because
Mm.
A, we have the recordings, and B, you just, again, it's the trust in the process. And before, I think it's very easy to say, I just can't do this. I've come to a stage in my life where it's going to be frustrating and it's probably going to get worse. And you really scare yourself when you do that. So to make that pivot and believe that with practice, it can improve again is
Mm.
very powerful. So that's the
Mm.
real gain in all of this. It's not that I'm going to suddenly be fixed, but that I can actually believe in my own power to improve it with
Mm.
help, but it's possible. So that's
Thank
nice.
you.
Yeah.
That's true empowerment, right?
Yes, yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And I think it's easy to get to a point where you just believe it's not possible. But we have to wrap your head around the current status being the way it's always going to be. But I don't believe that anymore. So that's
Mm.
thank you. Mhm.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, and you're also naming the just the continuity. Like this continues, right? It's not something we check off and go, that's done. We have the tools and now we get to keep using them as best we
Yeah,
can.
I expect
Mhm.
personally will need to come back and ask to join another group another time, just to maybe pick up another technique or just to reaffirm something. Um, but I like the thought of that rather than thinking that that's a problem. So,
Yeah, beautiful. Well,
yeah.
you're always welcome, of